Alright, I'm back. Lots of you were complaining that my previous video was a little too whale for y'all to handle, so here's something a bit more free-to-play friendly, hopefully. One quick correction about the previous video though, not all the demon pillars will be available right off the rip. Only 6 of them will be available at first, and the Saber raid only shows up after we've killed off 4 of the first 6. So if you wanted to farm the Saber pillar first, you're gonna have to wait a bit longer for that, but maybe that's a good thing for some of you. So for these raids, again, your ideal DPS is gonna be a single target Berserker, because again, like I explained in the previous video, all the demon pillars except for the Berserker one have 700k HP, and Zerks are obviously effective against all of them. Let's take a look at a few single target options that you can use for these raids. First, credit goes to Ingo and Saber of Avalon for this sheet you see here. They were the ones who made the Christmas 40 AP node teams that I made a video on the other week during the new Christmas event, and Ingo made this one in particular as well. Keep in mind, you'll notice that all of these setups use Waver and Merlin to great extent, so y'all better pray that Merlin shows up in your rolls next week. Oh, and I hope you also have Demon Ox King from Go West. So if you want a 3-star DPS, Lubu's pretty much your only option since he's the only 3-star single target Berserker in the game. Unfortunately, if you want to try to make Lubu work in a one-shot kill setup, you need to give him a lot of buffs and things to work with, as you can see from the sheet. It's preferable to have him at least Bond 8, because if he's below that, he needs Super Black Grail, double Waver MPs that are both high MP level, and a debuff cleanse. And in case Super Black Grail is still too whale for you, you better have a Super Holy Night dinner ready. Well, what do you mean you didn't farm an extra copy from New Christmas? Next is Herc. For him, Bond 9 seems to be the sweet spot where he's got the most amount of options available to him. If not, you'll need to rely on Waver's MP for additional DPS. If you don't want to deal with Waver and Merlin being on your screen at the same time, use Martha for her defense debuff. By the way, you do need an MP5 Herc here. Hopefully that's not too whale for you either. And finally, we've got Ibaraki. The good thing about the banana is that she has Disengage, which is a skill that clears all of her own debuffs, so you don't have to worry about bringing Martha. Instead, Liz becomes a really good support option here because she's got both Sadistic Charisma and her own defense debuff, though it's not quite as strong as Martha's. But it's fine, since the double Charisma buff from Sadistic Charisma more than makes up for the difference. A bit extra here, but specifically against Barbados, who's the Assassin Demon Pillar, if you have Sanzo, as long as she's at least Bond 9, MP1 can actually be enough to guarantee a one-shot. But that assumes you can bring a Waver, double Merlin, double Demon Ox King, and a Black Grail. And lastly, in my previous video, I got a comment asking about Ku Alter, whether or not he'd be strong enough to also be used in these one-shot kill setups, and so I ran some of my own calculations to see if he can do it, but it seems like at MP1, I don't think he'll be able to pull off a one-shot. It really seems like you need him to be at least MP2 to start breaking into the whole one-shot territory. Hopefully this video and the sheet that Ingo and Saber of Avalon made here helps out more of you looking to farm these raids. Again, big thanks to those two for letting me use their materials to make videos, and check the description for the link to the sheet.